What is up, ProGuides family? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nathan Ng, and today I'll be bringing you guys the top 10 most game-breaking tips that you need to learn immediately. Ever since I started playing, I was always looking for the easiest and most free ways to get kills, and this video is full of them. But before we get into that, it is time for our question of the day, and today's question is, what do you think is the most broken part of CSGO? Personally, it's gotta be the fact that there are so many one-ways. Most one-ways are pretty harmless because you can actually avoid them, but some of them are just blatantly overpowered. Luckily for you, this guide is full of them, so you guys will be able to get as many free kills as possible. The first game-breaking tip that we'll be presenting is the one-way smoke on Inferno's Banana. Banana is one of the, if not the most important area of the map to control on Inferno. It is so important in fact that some teams like Mouse Sports, led by Kerrigan, only prepare for that single area of the map. As Kerrigan said on the DDK Talks Esports podcast, Banana is where all the fights happen and ultimately is where the game is decided. Knowing some good utility and having some great lineups on that specific area of the map is therefore something that has the ability to win you guys many games. The one-way smoke that we're going to be talking about here was first used by Stanislaw in pro play against Astralis. You line it up by getting stuck right next to the sandbags and lining up your smoke right above the middle point of the animal graffiti on the wall and then just left click it. This smoke will allow you a decent one-way sightline in Banana if you go all the way to the left of it and crouch. Be careful though, having the right lineup is very crucial here, and if you throw your smoke wrong, it may not be a one-way, and if that's the case, then you'll definitely get punished. So I suggest you guys practice this in an offline server first. If you do throw it right though, you'll be able to get a cheeky kill or maybe even kills on unsuspecting tees. Stanislaw in this example is using the M4A4, but we advise not only for the spot but for multiple one-ways in general to use the M4A1S. By using a weapon with a suppressor, you'll be able to get a lot more kills and shots off without being noticed. Not only because you'll make less sound, but also because your gun won't be firing any tracers, so you'll be a lot harder to spot. If you are not a fan of the A1 though, fear not, you can always use guns like the MP5SD or the USPS. Sure, they may not be as damaging as the rifles, but if your opponents aren't able to see where their shots are coming from, then it should just be able to get you guys the kills anyway. If you're not a big fan of playing on Banana, but instead find yourself playing around pit or apartments a lot, don't worry, we've got you covered too with something that's very similar. In the previous segment, we already talked about how important Banana control is on both Ts and CTs. The reason for that is because amongst other reasons, if you have Banana control as a CT, you'll be able to play one person on Banana's jump spotting and 4 people defending on A. Of course, if you have 4 people on A site, it should be pretty easy to hold, but this actually isn't occurring since it's not too common in matchmaking. So if you are indeed in the pit or abs defender and your teammates aren't as great as holding Banana as they claim to be during the pregame, then this will help you guys delay and hold the A bomb site more effectively. The A bomb site is quite easy to hold with 4, but it's also great with 3, especially if they're splitting from all 3 possible positions, coming out of apartments, short, and then long. Then you know that holding A might be a nightmare. So this one-way smoke should help you guys cover at least one of these areas so you won't have to worry much about split. That's right, we're going to be talking about the classic one-way smoke in apartments. All you have to do to use the smoke effectively is wait for the right time to strike. Line yourself up with your back against this wall and aim at the height of the flower pot at the wall of the window and then just click left throw. This smoke will allow you to see the legs of anyone who's trying to push into apartments and thus allow you to get some free kills, or at least an 18-second delay for the opponents. Alright. We get it if you don't play Banana and you don't play apartments either, but you definitely do want to pick up some free kills while giving your opponents literally no chance. And that's understandable, and just for you, we've decided to add just one more overpowered one-way smoke to the list. To throw the smoke, all you have to do is get stuck in the deep corner alongside the A site. There, all you have to do is aim at the right arrow on the box to your left and right click your smoke. Now you'll be able to get on the box in front of you and enjoy your one-way sight towards short. If you do manage to throw this smoke as the Ts are executing, you should definitely be in a good place to get at least 2 kills with little effort and possibly even more. Alright, let's not get too stale here and move on to the next map. It's time for Mirage. Our first game-breaking tip on Mirage goes onto the B site and will annoy the living hell out of your opponents. We all know how tough it can be to retake B bomb site if you're rotating in from market. Being tasked to retake B is never a lot of fun, but just imagine if you get killed by an opper that you couldn't even see that you definitely had no chance of killing. That's right, this little angle will do just that. So how do you do this, you might ask? Don't worry, we're going to be telling you. All you have to do is get on top of this car and look through this little crack that allows you to get vision into the market. This angle allows for quite clear vision to go in cross-rotating CTs, but it's nearly impossible to spot and no one even tries to clear it anyway. This little angle should therefore shut down any hopes or dreams that your opponents might have had on retaking, especially if he had an op, scout, or another scoped rifle. Hell, you could even be an auto sniper if that's your style, and it's definitely mine, it's really fun. The only danger that you have in staying in the spot is the fact that you either have no one to come from apartments or you need a teammate covering it. Now that we're already at the B bomb site, we might as well show you another trick there. So to throw this little one-way smoke to get into the site B apartments, potentially allowing you to push up as soon as the smoke fades, all you have to do is get stuck on this little bench right here with the flower pot on it, right by B app's balcony, and then just right-click a smoke while aiming at the top around the window right here where the T's normally jump out of. By throwing the smoke, you'll be able to get this one-way vision into B apartments by hopping onto the chest to the left of the smoke. After the smoke fades, you can even decide to push up if you spotted no one by the apartments. Similar to the banana or inferno, middle on Mirage is super important and is truly where the game is decided, at least in most games anyway. The team that is able to control middle will generally control the game and therefore most of the time win as well. Therefore, trying to hold and take middle is of utmost importance on both sides of the map. Having good teammates to understand that though, and especially on the CT side, is very rare. So if your teammates aren't bright enough to understand that 3 out of the 5 players should be actively trying to contest middle, but you still want to hold on to it, then this next tip is for you. So for this next cheeky little one-way smoke which will force your opponents to either die or give up mid for at least 18 seconds, you want to jump out of this window right here and throw this one-way in underpass, which allows vision towards the better part of mid. The strength of the smoke is that it's very hard to notice before it's too late. You'll usually see this one way if you're already so wide out in mid and be killed by it, and thus this should be very effective as long as you don't use it literally every round. This smoke isn't a 100% save though, because an opponent rushing underpass can get a really lucky spray on you even though he hasn't even noticed you. But if you notice your opponents are rushing underpass a lot, you can even throw the smoke as a bait and then just underhand a flash as you push through it and then just kill your fully blinded opponents. Moving on to the game-breaking tip number 7, we have a one-way smoke and connector on overpass. All you have to do here is smoke left off and then slightly under the orange arrow on the wall and then left click your smoke. It's a very quick and easy lineup, and the best part of it is that this smoke is very often thrown even in the non-one-way variant, so people aren't usually very suspicious of it. But by getting on the side of the stairs and looking over it, you'll be able to see very clearly anyone in the backside of connector and get that free kill. The next little tip on overpass is an amazing incendiary to block people off from going out of mid. All you have to do is jump throw this Molotov while running by lining it up halfway through the wall at the little pole and it will land mid. This Molotov essentially breaks the entire balance of the map because it'll change how much map control the T's have by default. This Molotov will allow you or a teammate to essentially push up to playground pretty much uncontested and shifts a whole lot of the map control in your favor. Where normally T's can pretty much expect to have both mid and playground control, they will suddenly have to fight for it and use utility for both. Now for the next thing that isn't specific to any map but is honestly just brutal broken is force buying on T side after you lost a pistol round but did get the bomb plant. If you lose the pistol round but did get the bomb plant and then you play your cards right, you're often able to get as much or better buys than the CTs. Whenever this is the case, you will often be able to coordinate the buy that you could be able to get 2 or 3 AKs or at least 2 AKs and a Galil. Sure, the other 2 players will just be using a Deagle, but think about it. The CTs will barely be able to buy M4s while the Ts are happily sitting on 3 AKs. If you're able to convince your teammates to buy the second round after you lost the pistol round as a T, you should honestly be able to win on top of that and break your enemy's money, allowing you to get even more rounds. It's honestly so hard to express how powerful this is truly, but all I can say is trust me and try it out, you won't be disappointed. The last tip that's absolutely game breaking is buying the MP9. No, but seriously though, the MP9 is so unbelievably powerful for its price. Even though it does get a lot of credit, it is still very much underrated. For just a low price of $12.50, you'll be able to get an SMG that will shred both ecos and full bot players up close and personal, and it is even accurate mid to long ranges even though it isn't as strong as a rifle. But if you're able to be in the right positions, it can be just as strong as the rifle for almost a third of its price. Well guys, that's gonna be it for now. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell if you want to see more content such as this. Also, be sure to check out ProGuides.com where you get a coach yourself to be more effective in your playstyle and improve at a much faster rate. If coaching isn't your style but you want a masterclass by the one and only Simple himself, we also have that there. Anyways, I hope you guys stay safe, I hope you guys stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.